Video game flash fiction. This is a timed writing game. I'm going to give myself 90 minutes to randomly select one of these Atari 2600 console games, slot it in the console, play the game, and be inspired by its sights and sounds to create an original, intellectual property free flash fiction stories. And that story, well, let's find out what it's going to be. Let's roll this dice. I've got 60 games here. I got 6 columns and 10 rows each. I'm going to roll a 6-sided dice to select the column. There's a 3. Put that right there. And I got a 10-sided dice from bottom to top, 1 to 10. Let's select that row, 4. For today's inspirational game for whatever flash fiction story. Oh, was that? I did 3 and 4. Yeah. What do we have here? Commando Raid. Well, welcome to dystopia, maybe. Let's see if this game works. These games have been tested. Most of them have never been played. By me, at least. And it works. That is fantastic. I have the screen above, so maybe looking above a little bit. But I also have the ability to have a semi-delayed image of this thing before me. The same one you're seeing right now being streamed. Man, that's got some colors to it. Wow, I like that. That's a fun-looking game right there. Wow. Kudos to whoever made this thing. I like it. Let's see if this game actually works. And hopefully, I should have read the instructions, but I did not. I'm hoping the joystick is what I want. Yeah, looks like the joystick works. Okay. I'm just kind of hanging out. Okay. How do I fire? Whoa, man. Whoa. This is brutal. What the fudge, man? Oh, this is kind of against the Geneva Convention, isn't it? Like, I don't think you're allowed to shoot people in current human war that are in parachutes. At least considered a war crime, I believe. Maybe, but just, yeah. You can shoot them when they're on the ground. But I mean, if you're in war, I mean, there are no crimes. At least in the victor's mind. What the frack, man? How do you even win this game? Like, there's so... Is there like do the red ones tunnel? Oh, wow. Wow. I don't know how I feel. That's Commando Raid. I'm going to play it again. Welcome to dystopia. Yeah, that's kind of depressing. They had different levels of just, no, there's just like one. Well, let's try this again. It's kind of hard to escape and make and make this something other than a game about dystopia, like, because you're shooting things, like, you have to wait for a while. Oh, wait, okay. Okay, you can shoot the helicopters. Gosh, this is so intense. Like you're shooting people from the sky. And they're destroying your buildings and they tunnel under the ground. Oof. Man, and then more. Come on, come on, come on, come on. We don't have tunnels yet. Holy shoot. Come on, cannon. I don't think they're going to get me this time. No. Do the holes fill up or do they stay there after the next round? So eventually you're going to lose. It's just, I guess, how many points you get. Like, how do you, like, I'm not getting back. I'm not getting a tunnel filler. Like, why don't I get some special bonus as someone who could fill one of these tunnels? Because I feel like it's just inevitable. Maybe that's the whole point. Is there's no end until you die. Welcome to war. Welcome to Commando Raid. I'm dead. Wow. Well. Huh. Story. Let's have some water. Well, the sights and sounds are of shooting. Not really loud. Mostly the chopper, whatever. Yeah, I'm kind of depressed. It's just not like, Like, and I played Doom before, but you're killing aliens in Doom, and I guess you're really not like the whole point of shooting parachuters out of the sky so they don't blow up your buildings and tunnel under you and bomb you. Welcome to war. Commando Raid. Okay. Boy, it's going to be an hour and 22 minutes of joy. I do want to look up something real quick, just for my own curiosity. Suit soldiers in a parachute. I don't know how else to phrase that. Because I could be wrong too. Like I may have heard that, and it could have been like one of those things that people say, and you're young, and it was many years ago. Before information was available. So it is. The law of war does not prohibit firing upon paratroopers or other persons who are or appear to be bound upon hostile missions while such persons are descending by a parachute. Persons then other than those mentioned in the preceding sentence who are descending by parachute from disabled aircraft may not be fired upon. Okay. That's if they're coming down to blow up your building and tunnel under and blow up you, it's not against the Geneva Convention, the Hague Rules of Air Warfare. 30, I don't know, never came into force, maybe? Oh, there's no legal, yeah. The law, okay. So if they're coming down to harm you, you can kill them. But if they're seemingly from a disabled aircraft, they may not be fired upon. I mean, war is war. You only follow it until you get caught because you don't follow it. Okay, so that's good clarification. It's not a war crime. So I won't go there. I mean, it's still kind of very depressing. More than that, actually. Okay, well, Commando Raid. Obviously, you're the antagonist, and that antagonist is the cannon in the center of this thing right here. Or in this valley. And then you got the buildings on the side, and you're nestled in the valley. I'm not sure why. Um, but graphically, I guess it makes more sense. Game mechanics wise as well. Story wise, maybe protection. I don't know. You got these buildings on the side. Uh oh, what's going on here? Doesn't have a screensaver. They look like housing complexes, megadomes maybe. But maybe they're just houses. Because those parachuters are pretty big and they're like landing on top of the house. So maybe they're like a condo. We can make them a condo. I don't want this. This doesn't need to be like a big, massive artillery weapon. But it is. It's going to be shooting a lot of stuff out of the sky, so it's going to have some sort of range. Thrust, I guess. Thrust. Force, something. Still looking at the game. Oh, yeah. Who's the antagonist? You're the protagonist, so the I mean, I can make it fictionally political or like a hair on the microphone. It definitely won't be part of the story of this. It's a little bit more amusing part of this right here, at least. Because let's write this. Let's try to figure it out. I just don't even know. Like, I gotta go there. It's Commando Raid. There's people launching from helicopters to blow up houses and tunnel under and blow up you who are in. And it's inevitable. You're gonna get blown up. First day on the job, you're gonna be told you'll die sometime. Well, sometimes Harry gets around. And it's on my microphone right now. It keeps on tickling my chin. It's a little distracting. But at least it's a little bit of a distraction probably needed right now. Tired of writing about dystopia. I've said this before. But let's go there. Until people listen and don't want to read about it anymore. I have been writing about utopia a lot lately. We're trying to, whatever that means. I guess more hopeful future. There's always going to be a little bit of dystopia in life, but let's not let it control it. In this case, however, we have a thing called Commando Raid, and you are the protagonist shooting at paratroopers falling on condos to blow them up and then tunnel under and blow you up. It's not a happy thought. Not all life is about happy thoughts. Let's go for this. Let's go, first day on the job. As Valley as Gunner. That's what I don't know. I always get, because I never served in the service. I've known a lot of people who have. I've talked with them, but there's also like different branches of the service. And they classify and group things differently, and I always sometimes conflate it. I've never had to experience in a daily life to have that type of knowledge pounded into my skull like we do to ourselves every single day. The first day serving as gunner, I mean, you're going to die. Maybe I'll get some sounds. I mean, how does this game like start? I think you gotta like press up and fire, and then all of a sudden the helicopters come. And there they are. You're going to likely die. I think that's just going to be like you're going to die. Should I go there? Let's go there. Yeah, why not? I think that's it. Let's go there. I mean, if you're going to write about dystopia, why not try not to fictionalize too much? Let's see here. So you're going to die fighting the Russians. Not because they're better trained. Not because they have better leadership nor weapons. Where does that go? I don't know, man. That goes nowhere. I guess in fictional La La Land, at least you can detach yourself from it and then not have to actually think about what's around. This is about war. Commando Raid. Yeah, let's. Usually it takes me a little bit longer, I guess, to get the words. I have the words, and now I just gotta shape the story. I know what story is gonna be, but how am I gonna? And this seems to me like a typical way maybe not. Maybe this is gonna be acceptable. It could. And maybe not. And maybe both somehow. They've lost. No, I don't think they lost. They've lost already. Maybe. This seems stupid. Do I really want to go here? Honestly. Why not? Commando Raid. Let's go for it. I think you gotta push the. There we go. It's like the first shot. I mean, the graphics of it's not too bad. Like, Let's get. They just want to take you with them. They've already lost. They've lost and believe they're winning. I don't know if that really makes sense. Probably not. Do I have to throw this in? Let's infer it. You're going to die fighting, not because you're better trained, not because they're better trained, not because they've got better leadership nor weapons. You're going to die because there are too many that believe they're winning. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see where that goes. Because then I'd have to make it like against everything. And I think eventually that's what's going to happen, probably. I mean, wouldn't that be the. If your whole motive is for control, the easiest way to control a thing is to create the chaos and the information these days. Put one side against the other and then lead the other side against it, and you become the leader that wins. And you only lose once you stop doing it. Once you give up, no matter how heinous the act, once you stop doing it, and even worse, admit to it. Oof, don't want to admit to it. You've lost. That sounds mumbling. I don't know where my mind's at, to be honest with you. I try to have most of these remain light and fluffy lately. This one's kind of heavy. There's a better train, not because they got better leadership nor weapons. They're gonna die. I mean, really, you're getting like a cold morning. The sun rose. So, should I put this in the first person maybe? Let's go. You listen. I think I gotta do something like this. And then I'll start. Maybe. Thought I just needed to do one bullet. All right, well, I got the first wave gone. Sunrise is over the valley of a cold autumn day. I don't know, cold fall day. Call it fall. Much like the parachuters from the sky. So the sun rises over the valley of the cold fall day. Steam rises from your coffee, warming your hands as you look through the scope at the sky above the valley and the condos spreading from the ridge to the land above. The morning's radio, the morning radio. Distant whirl. Distant whirls. It's a putter? Like, I don't know, helicopter, a distant whirling. Chops. Chops the silence. The morning, they turn up the volume on the radio. To hear the motivational I don't want motivational. The morning constitutional, not sermon, nothing religious. It's just pure war. Although religion has inspired many, many wars, it's not the only thing and not the only reason people kill. So I don't want to focus just on the one. Man. Let's just write this. So distant whirling of helicopter chops the silence through the valley and You sit in the gunner's seat. I mean, that's the way you'd want to open this story, though, right? Like, if it's flash fiction, it's like the conflict is right there. You're in a gunner's seat. I mean, automatically things are tense. Of the of Weber Valley. You're in a gunner seat of Weber Valley. Of the Weber Valley. Of a Weber Valley. Of the last Weber Valley turret. Ground to air turret. I want to call it a turret. I want to get more specific with something else. A pillbox, a turret. Be like protecting the actual cannon, firing a cannon from a turret. I don't know. I'm trying to find the story. I'm going to shoot this game one more time here. Okay. So it's a depressing story. Your job as the protagonist is to shoot people from the sky that are descending. I mean, it's a fun game. It's a little bit like dystopian as I'll get out. And I don't know how, like, you don't eventually lose. You always lose in this game. I mean, eventually, they're going to tunnel under you, place a bomb, and blow up your cannon along with the turret. As I slow down, see? Yeah. And I like the different colored troops. Here they come. And even if I make it past this level, so there's no more helicopters, they literally just need 2 more people to hit one of these tunnels that have already been created. I'm dead. There's war. So you're a gunner. You're in a gunner seat of the last Weaver cannon ground to air cannon. The sun rises over the valley of the cold fall day. Steam rises from coffee, warming your hand as you look through the scope. The sky above the valley and the condo spreading from the ridge to the land. Valley's ridge. Distant whirling of helicopters chops the silence through the valley. Ooh, that's the reason they turn up the volume. You turn up the volume, You set down the coffee, you set the coffee, you finish the coffee, feeling the caffeine. Perk your mind. You turn up the volume on the radio to hear the morning constitutional. To hide, to distract from the noise. As the I think, God, that's like the I don't know. I need to look up there's the slang what a morning constitutional is, but there's also I think a real meaning, but I'm gonna find that out. Yeah, it's a good walk. That's right. Short walk taken for health is the morning constitutional. I've also heard the slang that it's you going to use the bathroom. So I've been used to you don't want to use it. Yeah, to relieve oneself the first thing in the morning is the morning constitutional. I'll go for a short walk. Constitutional. So this would be the morning. It's not going to be the morning I'm thinking the mornings. I don't want to say sermon. Like I want to get something that's. And I don't want to say propaganda. The morning radio. The morning radio. This is what you got to listen to. I'm going to go ahead and reset this. I think I got to fire twice. I like that. That's an interesting, mechanic. You're not hitting the reset button and things start to go. You trigger an event. That event then says, have helicopters fly with parachutes falling down. Parachuters. Paratroopers. To hear the morning talk show. Okay, well, there's a setup. It's depressing as all hell. And eventually they get to you. Happy times. How am I going to play this out? Like, I know the end. I got 51 minutes. I don't know if it's going to take 51 minutes to finish this story. Because there's not a lot of depth to it. I got the setup. Kinda. Well, let's see, the Weber Canyon Valley militia ground to air cannon. I don't want to put. I had Russia name dropped in the dialogue. I'm glad I don't. I just want to make this about all just the concept of war. Suppose if you believe you're winning, you're never going to stop. Else you might lose, whatever that means. I think it just means the people who are creating the war are actually suffering versus the people who have to fight it. The people who create the war, once they start getting harmed or threatened more. So you're in a gunner's seat of the last Weaver Valley Militia ground air cannon. The sun rises over the valley of the cold fall day. Steam rises from coffee warming your soul, warming your hands. Maybe hot cocoa if it's warming your hand. You look through the scope at the sky above the valley, the condo spreading from the valley's ridge. I could move that comma and that'd be a good thing. Put a period here. Comma. No comma. Distant whirling of helicopters chops the silence through the valley. You finish the coffee, filling the caffeine, perk your mind. You turn up the volume on the radio to hear the morning talk show. More than the whirl of the raiding of the helicopters. One. Two pair of helicopters fly north and south. Let's see if I can get bombed again. I think it's 2 shots. Let's see. Let's test this mechanic of how to start the game. It's like, that's how to start it. Two helicopters fly north and south. Two and two fly south. Paratroopers strapped with bombs on chests. Fall, then float. Pressing the cannon button and moving the targeting stick. You fire. You rapidly fire. Ballista? Like what's, I think it'd be like the proper term. I mean, it's not going to be Ballista is like the missile launcher designed to hurt. Yeah. Cannon. Cannon. Bullet. Cannon. What is this? Does explosive shells. Okay. Modern day counter. Ba 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 ba. Shells. Okay. Don't fire shells. Pretty fire. You have the casing. What is the shell? Is that the shot? The projectiles fired are typically either shot, if solid, or shell, if not solid. Historically, variants of solid shot, including canister and chain shot and grape shot, is also known. A shell is widely used as a generic term for a projectile, which is a component of munitions. God, that just bothers me, though. Like, shell. Spherical projectiles. So you're just part of the artillery firing precision shells. At paratroopers. Dangling from parachutes. Bullets. Blast. Paratroopers. Yeah, I know. This is not a happy game. I mean, just write the story and be done. It's like feeling uncomfortable right now. I've no threat to my life either. I live in a pretty decent bubble compared to other people in life. Many. Like, why should I feel uncomfortable? I don't know what this is. Precision shells. Let's put plural here. You rapidly fire precision shells at paratroopers dangling from parachutes. Paratroopers. Explode. And dangle dead. Hit the ground. Yeah, this is, I don't know, unable to trigger their bombs. Boy, oh boy. Round after round. The turret, the cannon, pivots. And swings and shoots. As the radio plays. Shell after shell shoots through the sky, hitting paratroopers until 2 make it through the fire. We get through the artillery. Artillery? That's how I'm going to spell it right now. Land on a condo roof. Condo roof. Condo roof. And ignite their bomb. Bits of building blow. And if we have to sacrifice our speaks as you peer and pivot and fire. Like, why would you like, to the south? On the shell. Blow a hole. Two more helicopters fall from the sky. I have like 2 waves, and the second wave they die. Parachuters, paratroopers. And last of the dead, and last of the dead, and last of the dead paratroopers lay motionless on the ground. The sky clears. Near noon. A blue noon sky. Fires and shouts are drowned out. It's for their fear, and they're losing. Winning. Yeah, family. I should probably connect people more to this. Like, who cares if you die if you have no connection? Picture of your dog, Dieter. Hangs above. Cannon sights. Of your now dead daughter. Okay, so there's a little bit of a connection there. There's at least dimensions to the character more than just pretending it's you. Just add a little bit more, like it's the extension of you. It's the fictional you. Two helicopters fly north and fly south, dropping paratroopers strapped with bombs on chest. The paratroopers fall and float to the commando tops, then explode. Pressing the can button, the fire button. Look at the picture of the dog. Siren? Shaking. You fire. You fire the falling soldiers. Falling soldiers at the soldiers falling in waves. Shells shoot and splatter the shoulder. Commando Raid, yo. Depressing. You fire with the soldiers falling in waves to the ground. Living soldiers land. Explode. One after another. Create a tunnel. Continue to create the tunnel. I don't know, like, is that it? There's no end. You're in a gunner's seat. I almost want to just have this, like, make it like a cycle. Literally copy and paste the beginning to be the end. You're in the gunner's seat. Yeah. The sun sets. I think I think that's it. As silent, I just it's not really inspiring a lot of talk right now. But I think that reads out to at least a story about war and the idea of the never ending. I took out any sort of reference to any sort of, states, existing states, countries, aggressors. I suppose, could always be said, and we're all aggressors, and there's a lot of truth to that. So I took the name out and then just visioned it more for this hopelessness of it. A game called Commando Raid. I think I've captured the mechanics and sort of the scene. It just definitely looks like a sunrise and a sunset. At least as it's being projected on this right here. And I think it's done. I'm going to go ahead and read this story. I do want to hear the sounds one more time. I have to actually have a joystick and fire one time. And then it'll go. And then it'll take a thing. Give me some paratroopers. Experience war and Commando Raid as I read this thing aloud. I'm going to leave the sound effects in there, and they'll end when they end, and I'll be done when I'm done. Maybe a little water to clear my throat. I can hear the sounds. They may be coming through depending on how my microphone is configured at this point in time. They may not. I am going to read this story. It was inspired by a game called Commando Raid. Commando Raid. You're in a gunner's seat of the last Weber Valley Militia ground air cannon. A picture of your dog, Dieter, hangs above the cannon sights next to a picture of your war-dead daughter when she graduated high school. The sun rises over the valley of the cold fall day. Steam rises from your coffee, warming your hands. You look through the scope at the sky above the valley and the condo spreading from the valley's ridge. Distant whirling of helicopter chops the silence through the valley. You finish the coffee. Feeling the caffeine perk your mind, you turn up the volume on the radio to hear the morning show more than the whirl of the helicopters. You're going to die fighting, not because they're better trained, not because they got better leadership nor weapons. You're going to die because there are too many that have been made to believe they're winning. 2 helicopters fly north and 2 fly south, dropping paratroopers strapped with bombs on chests. The paratroopers fall, then float to the commando top. The paratroopers fall, then float to the condo tops, then explode. Pressing the fire button and moving the target stick, you rapidly fire percussion shells at paratroopers dangling from parachutes. The cannon pivots and swings and shoots paratroopers and 3 helicopters. Man, I've messed that up already. Yeah. I'm going to read this one more time. I want to get this out. It's, if I mess up, I'll just reread the paragraph next time and not actually do a full stop. Again, I do want to read this aloud and try to get to the beginning to end as smooth as possible, at least to see if the story works. This is Paratroopers, called Commando Raid, inspired by the game of the same name. Commando Raid. You're in a gunner's seat of the last Weber Valley Militia ground-to-air cannon. A picture of your dog, Dieter, hangs above the cannon sights next to a picture of your war-dead daughter when she graduated high school. The sun rises over the valley of the cold fall day. Steam rises from coffee warming your hands. You look through the scope at the sky above the valley and the condo spreading from the valley's ridge. Distant whirling of helicopters chop the silence through the valley. You finish the coffee, feeling the caffeine perk your mind. You turn up the volume on the radio to hear the morning talk show more than the whirl of the helicopters. You're going to die fighting. Not because they're better trained, not because they got better leadership nor weapons. You're going to die because there are too many that have been made to believe they're winning. 2 helicopters fly north and 2 fly south, dropping paratroopers strapped with bombs on chests. The paratroopers fall and float to the condo tops, then explode. Pressing the fire button and moving the targeting stick, you rapidly fire precision shells at paratroopers dangling from parachutes. Paratroopers explode and dangle dead from their parachutes, and they hit the ground and are covered and unable to trigger their bombs. The cannon pivots and swings and shoots paratroopers and 3 helicopters as the radio plays. But we are winning. We are the victors, so we must fight on. We must keep our victory alive by fighting until we can fight no more. Shell after shell shoots through the sky, hitting paratroopers until 2 make it to the artillery, land on a condo roof and ignite their bomb. Bits of building blow and shake the valley as another condo rooftop explodes. And if we have to sacrifice our speaks as you peer and pivot fire shell after fire shell. To the south, paratroopers land on condos and blow a hole into its basement. 2 more helicopters fall from the sky, and the last of the dead paratroopers lay motionless on the ground. The sky clears for a blue noon sky. Fires and shouts are drowned out by the radio talk. It's for their fear and for their losing that they need to use human bombs and cannons fodders to think they're winning. You look at the picture of your daughter and remember teaching her to fish in the valley. As the radio talks and sacrifice we need to make to live to find life after victory. I look at the ends of the helicopter blades. Cut the calm and deliver paratroopers dropping from the sky. Victory. You fire at the soldiers, falling in waves to the ground. Living soldiers land and rush to the basement and sewers of the condos and explode, one after another, to continue to create a tunnel to the city and under you to blow. You're in the gunner's seat of the last Weber Valley Militia ground-to-air cannon. A picture of your dog Dieter hangs above the cannon sights, next to a picture of your war-dead daughter when she graduated high school. The sun sets over the valley of the cold fall day. That was Commando Raid. Well, at this point, I want to go off in life and do something a little bit more optimistic. Something not destructive. And maybe try to write something that will make someone smile or laugh, because I think everybody needs to smile or laugh more than hate and kill.